The guest in my virtual chair today is my friend Randi Cohen. I sent Randi to my friend Carolyn's office to sit upon the Kegel Throne. I invite you to sit back and watch as my friend Randi gets her Kegel Bits Blitzed for 28 minutes.
Scintillating, is that a good word?
Scintillating. I'm not going to have an orgasm on video.
Oh my God, please turn that thing up. I want to see that.
Hey baby, it's time for the Nikki Alpert Podcast. Come on, pull up a chair. We gonna have some fun.
Look how lucky we are today. I have two people in Jersey that I love. One who I've loved forever, that's Randi Cohen, the blonde in the mask. The beautiful woman behind her is my new friend, Dr. Carolyn DeLucia. So tell me where we have Randi sitting and what we're gonna do to Randi's vagina.
100%. So what we are doing is trying to rebuild the entire pelvic floor musculature without having to do it on your own, without trying to Kegel. So we call this the Kegel Throne because it's the Emsella chair made by BTL, which is a fabulous company. And what they did was they created a chair that you sit on fully clothed, very comfortably.
Oh wait, should I have my underwear on? Should I have my clothes on? Because I have my pants off just to make you guys feel comfy.
She has her pants on.
I'll put pants on, all right.
If I have to, whatever I have to do,
Now she's totally comfortable, which is one of the beauties of the machine is that you don't have to get undressed, no humiliation. You sit on the chair for 28 minutes, and there are 6 treatments for your first treatment sessions, and then it's maintenance every 4 to 6 months. And she just sits on the chair for 28 minutes and she'll do, are you ready? 11,200 contractions of the entire pelvic floor musculature.
Okay, so I've been told to do them from years, and I'm guessing in my lifetime I've never done 11,200 Kegels because I get to 3 and I'm like, it feels weird. I'm not comfortable.
100%. And I've been a gynecologist since 1988, and I have told women for all these years, Kegel, 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 and I've never done 100 Kegels in a day myself. I've never followed my own advice.
It's just too uncomfortable. Is it going to be uncomfortable for her in the chair?
No, but I'll let you guys chat all about that once I rev her up.
Okay, what have you heard is the worst feeling in the chair, and what have you heard is the best feeling in the chair?
Well, the worst feeling is just a tingling kind of intense contraction.
Okay. Like a contraction? Like
No.
Okay.
Of the floor, of the muscle.
Okay.
No labor. No.
Okay.
And the best is scintillating. Is that a good word?
Scintillating. I'm not going to have an orgasm on video.
Oh my God, please turn that thing up. I want to see that.
Ring my bell. Ring my bell.
Last time Carolyn and I talked about this, if you're sitting on the chair properly, Rand, it rings 3 of your bells.
Yes.
Oh, I love my bell ring. You gotta ring them bells. You gotta ring them bells.
All right, kids.
I got 2 songs.
Okay, so who would you recommend have this treatment?
Number 1, it works for men too.
I was going to ask you.
So the prerequisite is, do you have a pelvis? That's who. If you have a pelvis, you should take a seat. And I'll tell you why. Over time, without doing Kegel exercises, and unless you're truly a Pilates enthusiast or trainer, most of us do not engage our pelvic floor nearly enough.
Yeah.
Men never do. So over time, I don't know one 50-year-old man that doesn't wake up in the middle of the night to use the restroom.
Sure.
That breaks their sleep. And that's usually from maybe either weakening of the muscles or enlargement of the prostate gland. But by using the chair, they'll sleep through the night.
That would be nice.
I know. So literally, this chair is for anybody who has a pelvis. Maintenance of those muscles right after a baby is key.
Okay, question. The weakening of the pelvic floor, is that from the being pregnant and pushing? Because some women I know who have had C-sections say, oh, I never leak, I had a C-section. And I'm like, I don't think it just comes from pushing.
No. It's got to come from the
It's carrying the pregnancy.
That's what I thought.
I had 2 C-sections. I leak.
Okay.
It depends on your personal anatomy, your strength of your tissues. My family notoriously has weak tissue. So unless you use it, it goes to mush.
You lose it.
Use it or lose it.
Total mush.
Okay, one more question. How many men do you think watching this will be surprised to find out that they have Kegel muscles?
Most of them. And in Europe, this device is approved, their equivalent of FDA, for the treatment of erectile dysfunction.
Really?
So it works to build those muscles and, better
Randi,
shooting capacity.
Yeah, and Randi, you sounded a little too interested in the really, so let's make it clear. Let's make it clear. I spoke to Jared yesterday. He doesn't need it yet.
No. In fact, I want him as far away from this thing as possible.
Wait, can I tell her what he said last night when I told her where you were going?
Yeah.
So last night I said, do you know where she's going? She's going to have, we said dirty words, but then I said she's going to sit on the Kegel throne. And her charming husband said, she's going to be sitting on a throne in about 5 minutes.
Perfect.
Okay, I can.
And I did.
Oh, yay! Yay! Okay, is it a good thing she did it last night? Because might she be sore tonight or tomorrow?
No, not at all. And the machine has several patterns of proprietary contractile sequences.
Say that 3 times fast.
I cannot. I couldn't even say it once.
Me neither.
So, but what it does is one of them is a thump. And you guys will hear it. That is to flush out the lactic acid in the muscles. So
you're not sore.
Yeah, because this machine has paddles for the abdomen, the butt, stops the asalanche, and it does the arms.
I'm sorry, what was that word?
Asalanche.
Does that mean what I think it means?
Yeah.
I like that. Asalanche. Have you heard that word before, Randi?
No, but I'm going to use it.
Me too.
It's now going to be a part of my vocabulary.
Mine too. I can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
Asalanche. Asalanche. Hey, honey, how's my butt look? No asalanche going on? Does my butt look? Is my butt look good in this, or is it like asalanche?
Asalanche. That's totally my new word.
Okay, so it stops the asalanche. I didn't hear anything after that. Can you go back after that?
Arms. It builds these are
while you're
gym arms.
While you're sitting on it?
No.
Okay.
You have different paddles. But this
paddles for the belt.
Those.
You did say that. That was what got lost when you said asalanche. You said paddles.
Of course, because it lifts the tush.
So different paddles.
So
these paddles are.
I was going to say, so today won't be saving Randi from asalanche, just vagilanche.
Nope. Correct.
Vagilanche.
Yes.
All right, let's fix the Wait, do I have any more questions? Let me think. We're fixing vagilanche. You can fix asalanche. I love this. It's all I ever want to say again. We know that men can use it, and it has, I think we're good. Is there anything else I'm missing to ask you about it that you want people to know why that we didn't cover?
I don't think so. I think that's it. So sexual function in both men and women, and muscle tone of the pelvic floor. So urinary incontinence and vaginal laxity that occurs from childbirth.
Right. And is it tintillating and scintillating was the word. Will she want to go home and do the wild thing because of what she's been sitting on? Perhaps.
Yes.
All right.
Perhaps.
Let's see. Let's consider. So, Randi, let's consider me, you, and Carolyn having a little foreplay right now.
Right.
You're welcome, Jared. I'm getting her warmed up for you. That'd be twice in 2 days, thanks to me. Let's do this.
All right. Well, I'm going to say goodbye because I'll I'll be out of the screen.
Okay.
But I'm setting up.
Okay.
All right. All right. How are you?
Okay.
How's the anticipation, my girlfriend?
Ooh.
All right, should I plug in?
I think maybe, yeah. Will you be able
Well,
to
do you want to hear how we do the setup first?
Yes, I do. In fact, wait till
Okay.
Carolyn leaves so you can get your mask off too.
Okay.
And they're wearing their mask, you guys, because we're in the middle of COVID. In case this doesn't air till later, obviously you're not going to forget that, but we're being safe.
Okay.
Okay. So
We'll do
right
that.
now we are beginning, but the first phase is what I call the Emsella wiggle. And what you're going to do you feel thumping anywhere
I
yet?
feel like underneath my thighs.
Okay, so you're way too far back. You're going to wiggle forward. And you want to feel this. Where's you're feeling the thumping now?
In my butt.
Okay, a little bit further back then. Just not too far. We don't have that much space in between there.
Do you?
Now I'm feeling it in my vagina.
That's where, bingo. Okay,
My vagina's being thumped.
now
Now I'm feeling a little tingling.
this is therapy. Right now you're at a quarter strength.
Look at your hands.
Look at her eyes. Look at her eyes. Too. You see the eyeball?
It's a little bit of like the electric chair, like a little bit.
It's like
She needs a moment. Ring my bell. Ring my bell.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, what? Well, what?
I'm trying to like
Are you comfortable?
Yes.
Okay.
Turn that thing
And-
up.
trying to liken it to there's nothing to liken it to.
Does it tickle your anus and go
Yes.
all the way up to your pubic bone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. My anus is being tickled.
I've
Is
never
that-
been with you having your anus tickled.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh,
Is that tolerable?
Yeah, it's tolerable.
Okay. And how many babies? Tell everybody how many babies you've had. Vaginal births?
Two vaginal. One was a C-section because I had twins.
Oh my. Okay, there you go. How does that feel?
Okay.
Okay. Guess what I just did? I cranked her up to 100.
Oh,
Can she take it? Can you take it, my friend? Can you
that's a
take it?
lot. Maybe a little bit lower.
Relax for a
That's a
second.
girl. You tell her where to put that thing.
How does it feel?
It's oh my. There's nothing to describe. There's like no equivalent. It's
No.
like this.
Mm-mm.
It's this vibration, but it's tightening me at the same time. It is like, do you hear when it keeps going on?
Yeah.
Everything is like vibrating and getting really tight at the same time. There's no likening it to any. There's
No.
no.
So it's not your
like a
vagina.
vibrator.
Your vagina's not making that noise.
No. Or my ass for that matter.
Okay.
It's not like a vibrator because a vibrator just vibrates,
Right.
and this is every time it does that sound.
Yeah.
It's a heavy vibration, but then there's this like a tightening going on.
A squeeze.
Yeah. Yes. It's
Does it make you think you've never done a Kegel properly?
yeah, because it's
You feel muscles you never remember you
Yeah.
had.
and it literally is starting in my butt and going, like she said, all the way to the end of like my
The pubic bone.
pubic bone. So it's like
It's where the muscles insert.
it's going like this every time it goes like that.
No, wait. Does it go one way or will it go the other way?
No, it's just like
It's all tightening. It's not twisting.
It's all tight. It's not twisting.
Okay.
So you get, but it's more of a
Grabs you.
yes. It
Okay. It's grabbing you by the
does. No,
cervix.
this is- oh, by that. Yeah,
It's grabbing your innards.
totally. Like now I'm thumping right on my vagina.
Flush out.
And what is this doing?
Washing out your lactic acid. Like you just did a major workout,
Right.
and now you're flushing out the lactic acid. Normally our lactic acid just sits there and makes us sore the next day.
Right.
This is flushing out the muscles.
It actually feels kind of good. I'm afraid to say.
Exactly.
Wait,
It doesn't feel so bad.
Right.
why are you afraid to say that?
Well, because it almost feels like
Exciting.
yeah.
Oh, that's
It's a little
good.
bit of- It's almost like a little arousal-ish.
Nice. Are your nips
So,
hard?
would you girls like to chat alone with
Yeah,
me?
Carolyn, now that she's aroused, can we be
Yeah, now
alone?
that I'm aroused.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm getting uncomfortable
Yeah,
now.
you're right. She's like, I don't need to watch this one. Now it's back. So it goes through phases.
Yes.
It goes through. All right. Okay. Now that I know what to expect.
But those aren't the only two.
No, there was more than two. That was at least three.
Okay.
She didn't do the ring my bell again yet.
Yeah.
I like how your voice vibrates.
Because it literally, like, even though I know what to expect, it
Right.
still feels it's a very foreign feeling.
Yeah.
And yeah.
What's the machine up at, Carolyn?
100.
Nicely done, Rand. Nicely done. Okay, and by the way, the only reason we're asking Carolyn to leave is so that we can actually see all of Randy's face, because I think that would be more fun, and we want them to be careful. So otherwise, I'd have Carolyn right back there with her faces too.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
Oh, Carolyn, I can't wait to see you, honey. Grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank
Can you get
you.
it in? How I hate to say that while I'm on it.
You might want to take your mask off before you
good?
before you take your
I
headphones.
feel like that.
Yeah. All right.
There we go. Thank you. All right. Okay.
I'm gonna leave the door cracked so you can scream for me.
Okay. Or for something else.
Would it be like a Carolyn, or would it be like a Carolyn?
Right.
How you feeling?
So it's really like this. It's like, it's very hard to explain. It's not, it almost feels like it sounds. Can you hear
Yeah.
the sound?
So that's the
So-
feeling.
Right. But as it's vibrating like that, it's doing this tightening sensation. Yeah.
Contraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
Wait,
literally-
what happened there?
like, oh. and you're literally feeling it from like your butthole to the top of your pubic bone. So it gets like your butt, you like feel like not like up in my vagina, but
Okay.
like right on the outskirts. And then everything vibrates and tightens.
That sounds really good to me.
It's not horrible, or as they say, it doesn't suck.
And if it did, it'd be a whole different thing.
Oh, that would be a whole different machine.
So should we
I
suggest?
take, wait, I'm thumping.
How's that?
Thumping.
You like the thumping?
While it's getting rid of the lactic acid, it's kind of feeling good on the vagina. Not gonna lie. Kind
Like
of
getting interested.
hmm.
Oh,
It's like a tease.
okay. It's like a little flicking happening.
Yeah, it's like. When
Would you
want
like
it to go?
Maybe we should recommend that they add a sucking part to it all.
Right?
During the
Yeah.
thumping, of course.
Or a little bit more of a rubbing. So I'm still thumping. And it does, because every time it hits, I can actually feel, dare I say, like, oh, here it comes. there it goes again.
It's almost like it's a maraca playing while you're feeling those.
You know, and it's funny because I know that people come and sit on this for, 28 minutes?
Yeah, which I think you're probably 7 or 9 minutes into.
Right. But I'm like, do I sit and read a book? Like, not everyone has friends to talk to. Like, do you read a book? Do you listen to a podcast?
Could you?
Do you watch porn?
Oh, there's an idea.
Yeah, right.
Now, there's an idea. They should add a TV to it that has porn
Right.
and a sucking part on the bottom of it, on the outside, with a little thing that you can sit on it naked that has like some sort of condomy situation.
And then you have a happy ending. And then it's all good.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And you're up at 100% now. So she said that some people can't take the 100%.
We're talking about my vagina.
Does not surprise me at all. Does not surprise me at all that you could take it all the way.
I will go home and I will say, honey, my vagina can handle 100%. To which my husband will probably say, no shit. I'm that already.
Oh my God. Okay, so if you had a friend who wasn't watching you do this, you do.
Right.
And she was like, "What? Tell me about it. Tell me about it." What would you say?
I would say, well, if you want to get your ass and your vagina tightened, it's completely doable. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's actually quite an interesting sensation. It really is, because every time it goes, it's like something you, like I said, I can't liken it to anything. I can't say it's like having a vibrator. It's like, because a vibrator just does a sensation, even though it's vibrating, it's just this one sensation. Whereas this, you're getting that, but then everything's kind of coming together. It almost makes you want to.
Yes.
Like, go up off your seat, like, ooh.
And that's not the thumping. That's the
Right. No, this is the tightening right now. Tightening.
Okay. And when it thumps, it doesn't tighten. It just sort of pumps out whatever
No,
that
it
lactic acid.
literally is like. And it's funny because I'm just looking at the chair.
Go ahead.
I feel like, I'm being funny. Should I try to move the camera so you can see the chair?
Sure. Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, let's see.
Oh, there we
See?
go. Yeah. It's like watching your vagina getting thumped.
Okay, I'm getting thumped. Wait, I don't want this to go back too far now. Wait a minute. Oh, what did I do? Oh, Lord. I messed
That's good.
everything up.
That's good.
Yeah, except now it's not going to stay. I'm technically challenged.
Don't move your stuff off the chair. You got to keep that
I don't
thumping.
want to. That's the problem. All right, maybe
Yeah.
if I go like this. Wait a minute. What did I do, Nick? Okay, everybody. Technical
fun.
differently.
This is,
right.
technical, different, whatever.
Okay.
That's perfect.
All right, okay.
You're good. Yeah. All right, that was fun. We got to,
All right, here it comes.
It's funny. It sounds like a rattlesnake. It sounds like a maraca, but I'm only getting the hearing and not the feeling. Ooh.
Hot.
Yeah, me too. It made me a little warm.
I'm like, ooh.
It's making you a little hot on
I
the
may have to
inside.
take this off.
Go ahead. Oh my God, she's getting undressed, ladies and gents.
Wait, I gotta take my earphones off for a second.
Go ahead. I'm loving this. Oh, the faces are just genius.
I must really be warm to like show everyone my arms because I certainly don't have the arms you have. Okay.
Please. I don't have the legs you have, so we're good. And I'm not going to have the vagina you have after today either. I'm a little jealous, not going to lie.
I have to say, this is a perk of having you as a friend.
You're welcome, right? Who knew?
This is like,
She took me to get my wedding dress, And she tightened my vagina 26 years later. 26 years later to the day almost.
Exactly.
We met on June 4th, the day before your birthday. So this goes way back. Okay, so, all right, let's talk more about your vagina, shall we? Because I'm enjoying this so much.
I know, this is really, oh, so what I was starting to say about the chair, the reason I had showed you the chair was, you have to be I'm sorry, but every time it goes, it's like, in the right spot. And I'm wondering why there's not a marking, but I guess everyone.
That's right. Some people
on your size.
That's right.
Are further apart.
Or farther forward or back or whatever, right? So.
Right. It is. I wish I could liken it to something, and I'm trying to. Let me go one more.
You have about 900. Let's see. I wonder how many you're at now. If you're, let's see. My timer says we're 40 minutes in, but we talked for a while. So let's say you're 10 minutes into it. You're probably not even a third of the way. So I don't know what 11,200 divided by 3 is.
Wait, how many? Wait, she said what? 11,000?
11,200. Well, it'd be almost 4,000, but like 3,000 something. So you've probably done 3,000 Kegels as of now.
So I wonder.
I like that it blows your cheeks up.
I wonder how many per.
Well, yeah.
For those.
We could probably find out, but yeah, wow. We'd have to time how long those are for. I'm sure she has the answer to that, which if you guys need to know, you can call Dr. Carolyn DeLucia in New Jersey and ask her, or you could probably Google it. I'm sure we can Google it. Something. This is the part we like.
I like this part.
When you were thinking about it over the last few days and we had the date booked and all that, compared to what you thought you expected, what's the comparison like? Like, what do you think might happen?
I thought it was going to be more of just a little bit of a sensation, like more of a just a vibrating, even though, excuse me, I knew that I know what that exercise is or supposed to be, because
you didn't know it like you know it now, though.
Not like I know it now. So I should have kind of figured that there would be some kind of sensation like that.
Some sort of tightening or gripping.
Right. But I guess I don't understand how it's doing it.
Oh, I've seen that look on your face before. Just one time. I know that face.
I guess I don't understand how it actually, without having anything, like everyone knows, I'm fully dressed here. I have my jeans on, I have my thong, and that how it's able to make your body do that contraction.
There are 2 Tesla magnets in that chair. That's how it's allowed, how it does that. 2 Tesla magnets. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds like a big deal.
Yeah, me too.
Do you have any idea?
A big deal.
Right? I mean, if it's so. In other words, it's not like those magnets we used to get the iron out of the sand with. It's bigger than that.
Way bigger. But then again, I would think. Of course, I don't know much about this, but I would think that one of the magnets should be inserted in my vagina to get it to. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, to get the polar, or not the polar, but whatever you call that. Yeah.
As opposed to just sitting on something.
Right. So the question is, what's reacting to the magnet, since it's not like you have a magnet inside of you? So that's an interesting question that we wish Dr. Carolyn was in there for, so that if COVID wasn't here, we could all have our masks off and talk at the same time. So that's a question to ask at some other point. Yeah, like how does a magnet pull one end without another magnet at the other end?
Like is it underneath me? But again, if it's still underneath, how's it getting me to tighten up?
I cannot answer that question. Damn it. But you know what? I got it tightening up, so does it really matter why?
I know.
So she said usually people have 6 treatments, and then once I have one piece of hair somewhere around here, and then once every 6 months, I think she said, would be the follow-up of that. I forgot to ask her how long you wait in between treatments, but I would guess it's. I mean, it seems like if it's not going to make you sore, maybe you do it once a week. Or I'm making up rules. I would say.
I think only knowing about this thing for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That
tomorrow. You should just come back tomorrow. Yeah.
I'm just being here all day. I got a book.
If I had one, I'd be sitting on that every day. I swear. I mean, I wish you could have one in your home.
I used to feel like that if I worked at a dentist's office, that you wouldn't get me off the laughing gas.
There you go.
Imagine,
and by the way, imagine being
this,
laughing gas now and a Kegel Throne.
Yeah.
I would move to Jersey if you had that, and your Peloton.
Yeah, right?
I would have no reason to leave.
All good. You're all good.
Yeah, you could ride the Peloton while it had the magnets under it, and you were on laughing gas. That's a good day.
I think just having the Peloton with this, I'm getting thumped. I am being
and thumped. She likes it.
It ain't bad. I'll buy it all.
Jared, take note. Thump her later.
Thump her. Oh, he will. He's going to say, do I have competition now?
Not going to lie. You very well may.
We have competition now, babe. This is... Yes.
I'm Kegling. I'm not sure why it's making me Kegel, but it is.
No, right. Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because God only knows, like you said, you'll never do 11,000
in my lifetime.
In your lifetime.
In my lifetime.
Like 11,000. How many would you have to do a day?
You're asking me to do math.
Year. I know. Me too.
Well, look, I have a computer. I have a calculator. So we're trying to figure out 11,000 divided by 24, right?
By 24.
Well, in a day.
Oh no, I meant in a year.
In a year.
How many a day?
Okay, so 11,200 divided by 365.
365.
That I never could have done without my calculator. 30.6, almost 31 of them, which is not so bad, because you're supposed to do 10 at a time. So it's like, and they sort of suggest that you do 10 at a time. You know what I mean? So it's doable in a year, but you're doing it in a half hour.
Right. And every time I went to go do the Kegel exercises, and then I'd be like, maybe it's my ADD. I'd be like, what else am I supposed
I don't think it's, I think most people don't like to do them. I think it's a little uncomfortable and not in a good way. And
no, they're not. You're doing this weird tightening.
Yeah. And also you don't know if you're doing it right. I mean, I've heard so many stories about going up the elevator. And then, and I don't know if I'm doing that. And my friend, I have a girlfriend who had this done, which is why I know about it when you called me a few weeks after. And then we found Dr. DeLucia.
Oh.
And so my girlfriend had it done because her bladder was prolapsing. Like she could feel it, the pressure of it coming out of her vagina.
Okay.
And she had 6 of those treatments and the Fraxel laser, which her doctor called the Mona Lisa. And Dr. Carolyn uses a different laser for that, where they use a laser that burns on the inside of your vagina. And it makes teeny tears. And they do several treatments of that. And then the teeny tears, are you thumping?
No, not yet. I'm just getting a little.
The teeny tears, as they heal, all that collagen goes back in there from the healing. And so
it's like the equivalent of like the
Fraxel laser.
That needling thing.
The microneedling.
Yeah,
yes,
that
except
is supposed to.
Okay, so that's manual microneedling, and this is microneedling with a laser. So it's just that it's tenfold,
but it's the same thing of like
it's tearing apart.
So the collagen says, "Oh, there's a problem here.
Let's fix it.
Fix it."
That's right. So, so when she did it, she did the whole treatment, and she said everybody felt the difference, and her bladder came back up. Instead of having that operation where you put a sling in there or a hammock that could cause cancer. Now, that's not to say she might never not need it. She might, but this thing is helpful for all sorts of things, including when we found Dr. DeLucia, you were on the baseball field and I was Googling her. And she was like, You know, it helps with incontinence, it helps with erectile dysfunction, and it also helps with those intimate moments. And I thought, ooh, okay, I like that idea.
As I get thumped. Speaking of intimate moments.
Speaking of intimate moments, thumping.
Speaking of intimate moments, I'm getting thumped. Just saying.
Just saying. And you know
Just
what?
saying.
There's nobody I'd rather watch get thumped than you, Randi.
Appreciate it.
Is it fun to be watched while you're getting thumped? Yeah, right?
And now, as long as I don't have an orgasm, that would be awkward.
Why? How close could that happen, do you think? If the machine went up to 200?
Maybe if it went up to 200.
Okay. We got to work on that. Yeah.
Right.
We got to work on that.
Thumb, 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 thumb.
Is there a timer on the machine? Do you know where you are? I wonder, is there a counter or a timer like you could see without your glasses? Don't get up.
I'm not. Oh, no.
I like the face you're making.
It says 13:26, 13:25.
All right, so you're, oh, what was that?
And a little, because every once in a while you're like, oh.
Okay, so you're about halfway done, which means you've done almost 5,300 of them already. Does your vagina feel tired?
Let me think for a minute. No, it feels a little,
Woken up. Like it's had some coffee?
like you had a Starbucks shot. It feels trying to get, every time I think I'm getting a sensation of how I can say it feels, it starts to tighten up again. I have to wait for my thumping to give you a full wait till it's time to get thumped.
Okay, so you know that weird feeling that we talked about, like that it's uncomfortable to do your Kegels. There's none of that in the chair.
It feels completely different than me actually doing my Kegel.
Right.
Because it's literally, when I do a Kegel, I'm so focused on, like you said, like that, am I doing it right? Where's it going? This is literally, like I said, from my anus, just think all the way through to your pubic bone.
Which I've never been able to contract all of that. Right.
Again,
Right, no. Yeah.
you know, then it's like I guess it's literally, I guess it's something you could eventually do. It's like lifting weights, and you start with 3 pounds and you move
No,
to
you
5,
start with the jade egg.
And
And you pop that in, you leave it in for a half hour or so.
Like,
I heard a story yesterday about some girl who put a jade egg in and she was showing off with her friends how she had it in for like 4 hours. And then they went to get drinks and it fell out at the bar.
I once read a story about a woman who was going on a plane on a flight.
Yeah.
So she took her Benoit balls. Remember the Benoit balls?
Yeah, well, I've never used them, to be
No,
honest,
me
but I know what
neither,
they
but
are.
I know what they are.
Yeah.
And inserted them in. And when she went through security,
Security.
the things went off, and she was like explaining, and she literally had to go in with like a female security and kind of like use the bathroom and be like, yeah, hi, it's my Benoit balls.
Can you
she's
imagine?
gonna have a nice flight.
Oh, that's got to be worse. That's worse than them seeing a vibrator in your bags.
Oh well.
Or is it?
Yeah.
Did she have to take them out and show the woman, or
Yeah.
so she took them out and had to put them back in after?
Yeah, I'm sure at that point she probably wasn't feeling too much like using her Benoit balls.
That's
I'm
hilarious.
Now I'm getting thumped. So wait, let me see how my vagina feels. I want to say it feels almost like having a good session of fooling around,
All right.
where you've gotten kind of it's been used.
Is it creating
good
blood
way.
flow to your vagina?
I would say so.
Okay.
I would, yeah. I would say so.
Oh, did you win
What's that?
something?
I know, right?
Do you get a big stuffed bear now? What happens?
It stopped.
Oh, so call her.
Doctor.
Was that? I don't think that was 28 minutes. Was it?
I don't know.
If it was it long enough, or do you need some more time? Did we get you where you needed to go?
Well, right. This is very special.
And I was here for it.
I
Call
know,
her.
right?
There should be like a call button, like in the hospital. I don't think there is. I think you got to yell.
Oh, doctor. Dr. DeLucia.
Calling Dr. DeLucia.
Right.
Dr. Bombay, calling Dr. Bombay.
So, I got, I'll put my mask back on. It bells went off. Nikki wants to know if I won something. I'll unplug so you can hear her.
Okay. I can hear her. She just can't hear
You
me.
can?
She can't hear me though. So yeah, unplug.
Now you can. There you
Okay.
can.
I think that we'll know if you've won something once you go back home.
Right.
Okay, so might Jared be able to tell the difference in just one session?
No.
Okay. And the next time Randi sees a toilet and she really has to pee, might it be easier for her not to cross her leg and to get her pants off in time faster just from one treatment?
No.
Okay.
You need 6. You
Okay.
need 6 treatments. No one would ever say that it's going to work in one.
Right. But a little difference?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. It's you got to. If you went to the gym once, would you have bigger biceps?
No.
Oh, I wish.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. And my acelanche
So-
wouldn't get fixed in one acelanche
No.
exercise.
No.
So why should the vagilanche be any different?
No.
There you go.
Okay, so how many times do you think it contracts in that maraca sound?
Each time it.
I don't know. It's
All right.
all I know is that in the 28, it's 11,000. They won't
Right.
even tell you how many in each individual.
Okay.
Just the grand total.
We did a little math and we realized that if you did 30 a day, you could do 11,200 in a year. 30.68 in a day, you'd get to as many as she just did in a year. And
Yeah.
and all of them would be done wrong because she was like, who feels it from the back of your anus to the top of your pubic bone?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So do you ask any particular questions when you come back usually? What do you ask them?
If they've had any issues, I will say that some women who start this and come twice a week,
Oh, twice a week, see?
you can come twice a week for 3 weeks or once a week for 6.
Okay.
The total is 6 treatments. But if you are coming twice a week, sometimes the leakage may get worse at first from total fatigue
Oh, okay.
Because it gets tired.
because the muscles are tired.
Right.
Yeah.
So I warn the women that it might get worse before it gets better.
I
But you're-
remember, go ahead.
Because you're in active training.
Right. I remember when I first started lifting weights back in 1984 and I had a 6-shift car and I would, after my leg days, and I would go to the car and my legs would be shaking so much I could barely drive stick. So that's what you're talking about. It's just
Yes.
fatigue and failure. I love that idea. That's so wild, isn't it? And
Yeah.
what an amazing thing to think that like we've never, honestly, from what she's talking about, besides the fact that I don't do enough of them, I've never done one right. And I just can't believe how much goes on to really do the entire pelvic floor.
Yep.
What an incredible
boom.
transformation this can make on people's lives.
I say it should be coin operated in every airport gate.
There you go. And outside Kmart and outside,
Why are they buffing shoes?
right?
We should be,
Where should we go?
you know, we should be doing our pelvis.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Right?
Remember when we were kids and you got on that thing for a quarter that you could have one for the kid and one for the mom and the dad.
Right, yeah.
That's right. Oh, Carolyn, we also decided that maybe if you did take your clothing off and you had some sort of prophylactic on it, and we added some sucking, to the top of the chair, and
Designing the chair.
and a video screen for a little bit of porn.
Right.
We could fix
I
this thing and
see.
make it, and that's for the home version.
That's
What do you- You guys, this was amazing. I'm going to let you guys talk a little bit, and then I'm going to talk to both of you after this because this was so fun. I am
This
so
is great.
Oh,
I'm
you
glad I
guys.
got to do it.
Oh, Carolyn, Randi, I can't thank you
special.
enough. This was so, so fun, and I'm so glad I got you two to meet each other because you guys can
Yeah.
actually see each other again sooner. All right, you two, I am sending
Thank
love
you.
big time to both of you. Stay healthy. I love you guys.
Happy to help.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.